Hello and welcome to another video from Ethereal Gaming. Today we're going to be looking at the TL1 LPC, which is an American Tier 8 premium tank, and comes with a special style which is based upon a collaboration with the band The Offspring. And straight away you can see The Offspring on the side, the all black paintwork, and then if you zoom in we have a ton of speakers on the side, we have these sort of disco lights, we have skateboards here with artwork from some of the albums, we have instruments, microphones on the top there, a whole bunch of drum kit, more speakers on the back, speakers everywhere all over, sort of the music instrument cases and stuff, so you can see very heavily themed on that, pretty fly on the side there as well, and of course the symbol on the front. So a really cool, unique style, especially if you like The Offspring. Now, the tank's crew are the band members, so you can see them here, and they do come with their unique voice lines. Now, we do have they do come with a Brothers in Arms crew, and they then got also extra skills trained as well. So we've got Sixth Sense, we've got Deadeye, off-road driving for that mobility, intuition of course, and they're currently skilling up on repairs across the board. Now, in terms of what we're using vents, rammer and vertical stabilizers, a mix of normal, premium and HE ammo, normal consumables with a premium fire extinguisher, and the gameplay we're going to see is actually getting the Mastery Badge Ace Tanker in this tank. That was done with only 4 of the field mods. So the 4 field mods we did have for that is obviously we had the first one here and the second and the third, which are the 2 sets of equipment and things. But we also had the light alloy mounting points to increase hull and gun traverse. We had the suspension tuning arm as well, which was improving the dispersion during movement and hull traverse as well. So that's what we had on the tank. Now, as you know, normally my videos are all about those average and above average games, but I do like to do some of the games where I get an Ace Tanker. It doesn't happen very often. I think it's nice to show it, particularly given I'm not using Bond or Bounty equipment. I'm not using premium consumables, but we're not going totally free to play in that we do use some gold rounds in there as well, and certainly needed in tier 8 if you do get tiered up. Now, about the tank itself, I actually really like this tank. I've had a lot of good games with it. It's got 280 average damage, which is okay for a tier 8 medium. 208 penetration, that's on the normal rounds. If you look at the premium rounds, which are heat rounds, that goes up to 280 mil penetration with a 1200 shell velocity, so pretty nice with the heat rounds. And you know, the gun loading not too bad at 7.2 seconds, -9 gun depression. So overall, you know, there's some pretty good stats across the tank there. We've got 2300 DPM. 1400 hit points, not bad for a medium, and the turret armor's pretty good. You've got 178 turret armor, but if you look at the shape of it, pretty rounded, and it is able to certainly bounce on the front. Some reasonable numbers of rounds, but as always it seems with these American tanks, you got this big old cupola, which can sometimes do you wrong in terms of it's a nice weak spot on the turret there. Overall, view range pretty good too. Now, bearing in mind that we've got a Brothers in Arms crew, but we have no view range skills. We're not using coated optics. We're still getting that 420 meters view range. So if we skill up the crew a bit more, you know, we should be able to get close to the 450 view range. So pretty happy with that. So without further ado, let's jump into the gameplay and see this tank at its best, and say this battle we obtained the Ace Tanker at the end, and so I was pretty pleased with the outcome on that. Let's jump in now. So here we are on Prokhorovka. We are in a up-tiered match. There are 3 tier 10s, 3 tier 9s, and the rest tier 8s, which is pretty good. Often you can be only a few tier 8 targets, so that's pretty good to start with. But we are up tiered, so that is something I'm going to have to think about. And we are going to head over to the eastern flank, and we're going to go up onto the hill and challenge for the hill. So we're going to see who's coming with us. And right now, I'm not feeling very confident. All I've got coming with me is a WZ-120. That's not going to be enough to hold the hill against a determined enemy, so let's see what happens. We've got an E50M coming over as well, so I'm hoping that he's actually going to come and play on the hill rather than sit at the back and try and snipe the top of the hill, and it does look like he's actually going to come and help us. Now that's very reassuring to have a tier 10 medium with us and one who is tough armoured. So we can see the enemy team so far spotted in the mid ridge on this flank with Conqueror, IS-7, Panther 2 and WZ-114. I'll be looking to get shots at them from the hill. They'll be looking to get shots at me on the hill. So it's going to be an interesting trade, and we'll see how well. But our Mil2 and Kranvagn have a really good opportunity and good chance to spot given their height, and straight away we have some opportunities and we get a shot there into the Panther 2. And what I've done is, because I'm up against a Conqueror and an IS-7 from the side, I'm switching to heat ammo to get that extra pen, and we've got a 430 now appeared on the hill with us as well. So the problem with that is that 430 pushing up, he's now going to be spotting. This enemy heavy's going to get a chance to shoot us on the hill, and I try and go for the Conqueror's track to lock him in place. We don't get it. We are reloading. I've got reloading time, and we reload in time, and we get a shot into the Conqueror's turret. That Conqueror stuck between being shot from the front and the side. So right, we've got IS-7 now is pushing up. WZ-114, can we see enough? WZ-114 definitely has our number, pointing this way with his turret, and I don't have a shot to get him with, so we decide not to fire. So come back over again, and there is nothing to shoot at the moment. So the enemy have retreated below the ridgeline, and we cannot see them. So our E50M taking a fearful amount of punishment there from the enemy E50M and the Object 430. We are getting some spotting on the E50M though, as our team, our Kranvagn and TNH and Mil2 get some shots into the enemy team on the hill. Again, WZ-114 pointing at us, there's no shot there on him. And that weak spot is a very long way away. And I get lucky there, the WZ-114, he does actually miss, but I am only poking my turret over the top of the hill right now. So as always with Prokhorovka, this is a very standard game. The guys on the road on the western flank reluctant to push without good spotting support, and the M41D there, he's got a good location to spot, but that's very static. He can't really move forward from there. And the HWK trying to play the mid, but very difficult. And there is an enemy scout still alive, so having to be aware of that. We're battling for the hill, and as often happens when you're on the northern spawn, the enemy actually are on top of the hill and you're fighting just below the side of it here. That is quite common until you can push and win the hill, and at the moment we certainly are not strong enough to push an E50M and a 430 off the hill. Our E50M had to retreat because he has taken so much damage, and the enemy 430 there coming very far over the top of the hill. We're getting a ton of assistance damage, 836, actually even more than that. So we're getting a ton of assistance damage there. And now we've also spotted an AMX there as well, and along with the Panther 2 who's relocated here, we do take a hit there from the AMX, but we continue to get that assistance, and we're now at 2,000 assistance damage. Can we get a shot into the E50? We do hit him, but we bounce off his turret. But again, look at that assistance damage, and we're getting a ton of assistance damage from the hill. Our Kranvagn doing an excellent job there. And again, more look at that. Wow, so our team, our heavies down the bottom, combined with a Scorpion providing support, have now killed virtually all the enemy on top of the hill. So that's 5 enemy tanks now dead on top of the hill, and we've gained 2,600 assistance for that. So the WZ-120's pushed up. It is now time for me to push up onto the hill as well. But oh no, there is still a charioteer up there. So I thought we killed one charioteer, and we had, but there is another one up here as well. We do get a shot into him, and we managed to bounce the Conqueror, who has retreated to the back to this side of the map. Now, where we are now does mean that our team is in a very strong position. We hold the hill. We essentially have virtually taken this flank. We have a height advantage. The IS-7 getting punished there from the top of the hill because we're almost now behind and round the side of them, which makes the position of those heavy tanks in the middle very difficult indeed, particularly when they've got a Kranwagen and a Mil 2 to the front. And we get another shot there into the WZ-114, but I'm still wary of that charioteer that was behind, and he's still there on the hill. And as you can see, we're spotted there. That must be the charioteer looking to peek round. And even when you're here, as you can see, there you go, the charioteer, he can come actually round the corner on top of the hill, but we do turn around, and that testament to this tank, a nice snapshot, and we snap the charioteer and finish him off. And that is excellent, because I think now, I believe that is the last enemy that's on this flank, on this side of the railway track, which gives us a huge advantage now, because we now hold this entire side of the map. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come off the hill. Very few targets really to snipe at the hill from here. You can see our draw distance doesn't extend too far into the middle of the map, and I don't want to just get stuck on top of the hill. I want to move down. I want to try and get spotting on the Conqueror and get some shots into the IS-7 and WZ-114 from behind. So that is my plan, and it looks like we're going to go with that WZ-120. He's struggling with his hit point, doesn't have many left, so hopefully he will be able to hold. Let's see what happens. WZ-114 still trying to play the mid-ridge there, but if he does that, we're going to be in an excellent location to get some shots in behind that Conqueror. Where did the Conqueror go? And that is the question. There's the Conqueror, but he's facing the other way. He is facing the other way. We get a shot into him, but it's not enough, and he's left on 38 hit points. But fortunately for us, the Mil 2, he was waiting, saw the Conqueror, and was able to finish those last 38 hit points up. And now I'm trying to come over the top of the hill, and I'm trying to see if I can get some shots into the back of that WZ-114. Now, I can't really see from here, but there we go. We can now see into the back of the IS-7. He disappears, but I think he's still there. We can see into the back of the WZ-114. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can push forward and see if we can get some spotting. Maybe the Kranwagen will push over and spot for us as well. I'm not too sure. Let's see. But we definitely know IS-7, WZ-114 are there. They're either facing me, in which case I'm going to struggle to penetrate, or they're facing the Kranwagen and we'll get them from behind, which is the plan. And there we go. IS-7 there, and we get the shot into his turret from behind, and we finish him off. And there you go, right between the eyes. That's one of the special voice lines from the Offspring commander. And there, look at that WZ-114, but oh, we bounce off the back of his turret. Such a shame. And I'm waiting for that reload, and we go, and we finish him off as well. So 3 kills now, 2,000 damage and 2,600 spotting. Going incredibly well for us in our TL1 LPC. Say that name very fast. Right, so Scorpion pushing in, so he's gone into the base. Now, it's always a nervous time here. You do want to, this feeling we've got overwhelming superiority. You want to rush across to the other side, spot the enemy TDs and take them out. But there's enemy TDs, they still can put out a lot of damage. And my real concern is the CS-63. His location means I'll be spotted very quickly, allowing the enemy TDs to continue to fire at me without being spotted. So I'd end up dying myself without being able to even reveal the enemy tanks and trade for them. So for me, that would be a totally negative trade, rushing in there. With the aim of spotting the TDs, I just don't think I'd get close enough to spot them before the CS-63 would have spotted me and the TDs would have finished me off. So what I'm waiting for now is I'm waiting for the Kranwagen. He's low on hit points. The TNH VZ-51 to get that CS-63. But now the guard is gone. The Scorpion continues to try and cap the base. And there's the CS-63 there who's come. We are spotted. We decided to make a move. Now, they went after the Scorpion, which is allowing me to push. And I'm trying to push as far over here as I can to use as much of the terrain. And there we go. And we manage to bounce the WZ. And then we finish him off as well. So we get 886 spotting and another 214 damage. And there's the Cannon Panzer. And we finish him off as well. And that is the game. An excellent game here. We got 3,500 spotting, 2,300 damage for 5 kills. Sometimes everything goes your way. very much the case in this game. Everything went our way. We were up tiered, but we managed to make every single shot count, and we maximised the use of the spotting. And I think that's one of the things that, particularly if you're up tiered as a medium tank in Prokhorovka, is you can actually benefit your team so much from providing spotting, even if you're not doing the damage. Let's jump back to the garage. And there we have it, the Offspring tank, the TL1 LPC Mastery Badge Ace Tanker. And I'm sure that crew, after that game, would have been rocking it inside, having had such an amazing game. So overall, pretty great tank. I find this tank pretty fun. It's just kind of reasonably good at kind of everything. You know, it's got a reasonably good turret, but it does have weak spot. It's got a reasonably good gun and gun handling. It's got reasonably good mobility. Certainly not a master of any of those, but as we saw in that game, we used it to maximum effect. And I think the view range there, you know, it certainly helps a lot. And if we skilled the crew up even further, this tank's view range would be close to that 450 mark. So a very, very good game in this tank. Certainly not an average game for me in this tank, but we were successful in getting that Ace Tanker finally on this tank. There we go. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, and let us know why you gave it a thumbs down. And as always, we are streaming live on Twitch and YouTube, Facebook Gaming, and your support is so much appreciated. It helps us continue to make these videos. It gives us that confidence and reason to continue to improve based upon your feedback. So if you can like or subscribe or follow on any of these platforms, it is much appreciated. And that's it from Attribution Gaming in this time. We will see you on the battlefield.